Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our next speaker, Indre Lauciene, presenting the topic, Clinical Case of Your Ordinary, Unhappy IT Specialist.
Hello everyone. I see only half of you. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing. My name is Indre. I will stand in some places. I'm a bit, impaired in height, so it doesn't matter where I stand, you will be able to see everything. I'm coming from International House Vilnius, and for those who knows what it is, probably now is the question, what the hell she's doing here today? Because my specialties and my professional life is as far away from IT as possible. My knowledge about IT starts and ends with power button. So, very strange combination here. But what International House Vilnius is, it's a one-stop shop in Vilnius for everyone who's coming as a newcomer, foreigner in our city and wants to work, live, or just study here. So we are the helping hand, which we are providing for everyone who comes. And in one place, we are providing services, nice bureaucratic governmental services for everyone who needs it. So you come in with questions, you come out with solutions. Also, we work with integration and a small, tiny bit with integration, attraction as well. So we are the ones who sees who comes and who lives in Vilnius. And today, I would like also to introduce later with my imaginary friend here, Sam, who's going to help me to tell you a story what we see every single day. People who are coming to Vilnius for different reasons and how they became better in Vilnius. Why? Because they eliminate the biggest problem we are facing in our professional lives today. And I'm talking about burnout. Burnout is a very fancy phrase. I'm sure everyone has heard it, especially since COVID. Why? COVID was an amazing scene where we all experienced working remotely so fastly and somehow understood that we cannot just stay at home at work, and we can work from home, and it's so fun, and we can work from everywhere. But actually studies shows that during this remote work, the most affected people by it are the ones who are the most motivated, who want to work the most, and who want to work good. Why? I'm not sure if you already experienced it, but when you work from office, usually lunch comes and a huge bunch of people are migrating outside for lunch. So your mind tells you that, come on, it's time to eat, probably, or go smoke, or go for a coffee. Then the time of your workday finishes. Also, the migration outside of your workplace shows that probably it's time to go home. And from my very personal experience, I know that if you work from home and not from office, there's no migration to lunch, there's no migration after work. So I start and I finish through the hours which are not comparable with my working hours. And that leads to the mentioned phrase, burned out. So now I will ask a bit of help from you. Can you pick up your phones and scan the code and answer a couple of questions for me? Why? Because I really want to know if this, as far as I see, huge bunch here is quite similar to the one we already know and seen. So the first question is very simple. I hope it's simple. If not, check your passport. Where are you from? Nice. I see that there are some from Kaunas, so it's almost a different country, yes. Okay, Vilnius. Okay. So a lot of different countries. And I love that you also consider Vilnius a country. I also do. It's a different life here, for sure. Okay, another question from us would be, have you experienced work-related stress or burnout yourself? And I don't mean the stage you collapse, like at work or on a stage or somewhere, but that you feel not rested, that you have lack of sleep, or you sleep but you don't feel rested after it. Okay, so numbers are not very good actually. It means that you feel stress, and that's not very strange for me. Okay, moving on. A next question, and I hope that you do not sit next to your boss, but how often do you work overtime? Nice. And probably this who are answering that never, I'm assuming part of them are from Lithuania. Or just hoping it is. Okay, and the next question. It's just an open question, which is very much important to me because I'm related to finding out what can help you to reach your best life in Lithuania and in Vilnius. For sure. Or wine if you prefer it. But I like it. Okay. There are several which I'm not able to help you with. Or maybe just not while it's my working hours, but okay. Lots of money, I like the answer. So I see that the answers are very different, and some of them are from one part or another, but it all comes down to be able to manage your personal life while working and reaching for career. So mainly it's family, hobbies, and what can you do on your free time, or do you have a free time overall? Thank you very much. Moving back to the presentation now. And this is my imaginary friend. And no, don't worry, I have him only with my presentations. This is the ordinary Sam, as we call it, the specialist from IT sector who moved to Vilnius. And we see our ordinary Sam almost every single day within our work. And what's written here are the main characteristics about him. And I feel that you can connect with him because I've seen similar answers. So this ordinary Sam who moved to Vilnius, more or less a bit over 30 years old, so still youngish. And he likes to be outdoorsy. He loves to participate in some sports activities. Of course, he loves to travel and read because that's like the main thing to do nowadays. But what's very important to me that usually, and we actually did this survey before me coming here, and we asked our colleagues from IT sector and our ordinary SAMs, do they feel burnout after relocating? And the answer mainly, and I mean mainly, was no. No. So it means that now they experience less stress, and it comes to being more resilient to being burned out. Also, what I like the best, that our Sam is really working overtime. I'm hoping he's getting paid for those 1 to 3 hours per month, but it means that it's very much due to projects, assignments, etc. So it's life is life. It's not possible probably to have like zero overtime all the time, but he's actually not working that much. And we had an open question close to this one, and it was about relocating to Vilnius and experiencing work-life balance here. And the answer from all those people was that they feel it more here, and even gave us answers why. I will tell you a bit more a bit later. So Sam was in not a good situation before moving here. Why? He was looking for a better alternative to his life, because I mentioned he worked long hours. He was not clear where to go and what to do because the alternatives were very much blurry for him. He felt like he lacked support. If Sam was somebody who worked not in his home country, it is very much likely that he felt social isolation, and I will mention that again a bit later. Also, sometimes, especially those who come and not work in their homeland and work in some other countries, and they are from not European Union countries, they might have stress related to their legal status. So he saw it as a first part of clinical case, and how do we treat a disease? And burnout, for me, in my personal opinion, is a disease. Sometimes it's just psychological, quite often it's physical as well. So what is the first step? Is just admitting that it is a problem and what kind of problem it is. Then you can move out to another stage of treating it. So Sam knew that he has a problem. He knew that this is not a way of living, so he wanted to do something about it. He wanted to relocate, to move and change his entire environment, not just a job within his city. But he was afraid. And there are a lot of myths and even some stress related to moving, and I fully understand it. And most of this stress comes from some heartbreaks. He was not sure if he will match with the local language and he will be able to integrate because he doesn't know language in most of the countries he wants to move. Then he understood that there will be some cultural adjustments and he wasn't sure if he will be able to adapt and to integrate into a local community quite fast. Then, and this is universal, local bureaucracy. And this is the funniest part because every single country has it, because bureaucracy is like universal thing, but it differs how those countries deals with bureaucracy. Do they have any mechanism how to help newcomers to tackle the whole net of bureaucratical issues? And then also Sam knew that if he's relocating with his significant other or some furry or not so furry friend, there might be also some questions he needed to tackle before trying to move. Just to mention, the local barrier is very universal, and I'm not speaking from the point of somebody who's coming from Vilnius and that just only Lithuanian language is an issue. Yes, we are in Baltics, and Baltic countries tend to have quite difficult languages, old languages, and to learn them, I don't envy anyone who tries to do it. Some Lithuanians try to learn Lithuanian language for all their life and still not maybe succeed fully. But this was a question, and our recommendation from professionals who tend to work with integration every single day, at least some phrases or some sentences would help Sam or would help anyone else who tries to relocate just to integrate faster and to be received more openly and friendly. What can help you as well, and it doesn't matter where you move, of course, if you move to Vilnius, it's easier, that there are some language courses, and those could be a huge help for you. So if you want to relocate or if you want to change your environment, this could be an amazing opportunity. Because, for example, in our city, we have several options of free of charge courses as well as paid courses. It all depends on your wishes, etc. It also differs from the level of language course. So you can go to have a cup of coffee somewhere and just speak on very small and like first level and just learn how to say hello, goodbye, etc. Or you can learn from the ground up and build your language knowledge so much. Also, we put it here, translation apps. Again, I'm very far away from IT sector, so these tools are not that common for me, but you can use them to help in your daily life and work life as well. Cultural adjustments, very important. It can answer you questions like, why does my neighbor don't say a good morning for me in the morning in the elevator? Or why do Lithuanians smile so much? No, not so much. Only sometimes when they're in the mood or if it's summer and sun is shining. Also, why I have to be very much strict to how I stand in the line, etc., etc. So understanding those small nicks and knacks of social behavior and rules can help you everywhere. And it's not even if you're relocating. If you're traveling for a longer period of time, it will also be an issue. You will need to understand if you're like shaking a hand or like keeping a distance. So this would show that you respect those people. So I would suggest you to Google it a bit and learn those aspects before going somewhere. Also, if you do not know our main holidays, you could be very much confused and won't understand if it's very much important that we like to drink non-alcoholic drinks during our midsummer festival and dance around fire, and why we look crazy. No, it's not, because it's our celebration. So, and the last thing would be that in every single place you go, there are local communities. So you can try to find those and you can try to get integrated. That's what we suggested our Sam, and that's what he did. But he came to us, as I mentioned before, because of bureaucracy. And this is not a common tip, and I'm not sure if you will need it if you're not relocating, because you know your system in your country very well, I suppose. But if you do, like I said, it's very universal. So if it's universal, you can find it in every single country. It just differs how those countries deal with it. And what I mean that it's quite hard to pick up and change the whole network, the whole system. So it became easier for countries to navigate it through creating one-stop shops or consultants or other support systems, how to navigate with this bureaucracy. For us in Lithuania, it's International House Vilnius, for example. Also, we work there with another issue. If you need 2 degrees to translate some information, what does it mean, even though you know the language in which it's written, then it's a problem. So we tend to do it every single day, just translate our documents to the human language. So it's not only Homus bureaucraticus anymore, but it's a language people who try to read it understands as well. Other stuff which is very much important for everyone who tries to navigate their life, relocate, and find a good life-work balance wherever they are going, is those options written here. And I'm not making them up. It's actually from different surveys of people who does it or done it at least once, like I mean moved. And this is, you need to understand what kind of educational system, healthcare system you have in the country. And spoiler alert, in Vilnius we have a really good one, and it's rated very high, almost a maximum. Also, if you're moving, never forget that might be that you're not moving alone. And what's on the rise is different spouse programs. And we saw even several different communities which were created in our city because, and that's going to sound very sexistic, but men came and they came with their wives, and those wives didn't know what to do. So they were not integrating. They felt left alone and sad, so the whole family was not okay. And this is a good way to help your significant other to feel welcomed in the city as well. So there are a lot of communities and possibilities for them to integrate with you together. So Vilnius is a beautiful city, and I'm not just saying that because I live in Vilnius. Actually, I'm not from it. But we have solutions to these problems. So if you already understood that you might be heading towards burnout, and you will acknowledge and speak about this problem loudly, and you want to turn from it, or you already have it and you don't want to have it anymore, the second stage, with all the things I listed to you, is try to find a way out as fast as possible. Sometimes it's changing a job, sometimes it's changing a city or even a country. So I mentioned a lot of solutions, and I mentioned Vilnius solutions. And if you will be thinking that there might be like an idea that you would want to come to Vilnius, for example, we will be able to help you. There's
Your amazing life in Vilnius begins now. Wait, you look concerned. Oh, forget Googling. Come to International House Vilnius instead. Our specialists are true Vilnius experts. They'll help you with every aspect of your new life in our beautiful capital. Need more practical knowledge? Join our informative workshops and community events. It's a shortcut to becoming a local. We also have a mentorship program where you can get a local buddy to help you integrate. Labas, are there any volunteers? Befriend the artistic and vibrant Vilnius. Psst. Hey, a little secret. You won't be able to get enough of it. So don't be shy. Get in touch and ask us anything. Your amazing life in Vilnius begins now.
now, just a second, technical issues, as always. As I mentioned before, burnout topic is very much personal for me. I was working even before COVID a bit, most of my time not in Lithuania, in other countries, several different countries. And there was a time when I understood that I'm collapsing. And I mean not only mentally, but physically as well. And it was quite a period of time for me to understand why and what's wrong with me. And I felt that I'm the weak link here. And it all ended up in emergency room. All good, I'm standing here, so alive and well. But what I did, I spoke to myself first. I listed out all the reasons why I'm doing this, and I was working the job I loved. I didn't felt like I was working. I would go out to my work every single Monday with happy face, and it's not about that. Burning out can happen to everyone, and can happen while you are working your dream job. And it happened to me. So what I did, I tried to find a way, being very much happy without this problem, without feeling like I will collapse in my workplace. So what I did, I moved full-time back to Vilnius. And here I found that environment can be very much supportive. So sometimes we feel like we are burning out, we feel alone, we do not want to ask for help, and we feel like if I will say that I'm feeling tired and I cannot move today because I worked so much yesterday, that somebody else will think that that's your problem, and that's not true. So don't be afraid to say it out loud, to ask for help, even to tell your boss respectfully, sorry, I'm very much tired. And if you will see that this continues and this is an issue, and it doesn't stop, you need to change your lifestyle. Somehow today we are very much talking about careers and moving up the ladder and moving at a very fast pace in our career life, and you are nothing if you're not a manager until you're 30, etc., etc., etc. But that might lead to a lot of issues, mental health and even physical health. So what I love about living and working now here and being able to say out loud to my colleagues and to my team that, sorry guys, today I'm really tired, or that we need to slow down a bit. Vilnius is a perfect city for both type of people. For those who just want to live, work, earn, be happy, travel, read, drink wine or beer, and just exist. And that's okay. And it's perfect for another type of people who want to climb up, the career pathway and to create a career. Because, and this is very interesting actually, there was a study and it was counting how long it would take for you to climb up the ladder if you would be working in London or Paris or Brussels. I'm talking from specialist level to the decision maker and to management level. It's from 5 to 7 years if you work hard. In Vilnius, that amount of time is usually from 2 to 2.5 years. So it means that there is a higher possibility that if you work, you will climb up. And you can even try it and do it without burning out, without feeling disconnected, and without, looking for a way to go to the doctor as well. So now, by the end of this presentation, I would love to say that our ordinary Sam moved. He feels less stress. He feels fine. He feels that he can go to the forest after work and disconnect from everything. And he feels like he can have hobbies and free time and friends and time for his family and his furry friend. So now he's immune to burnout because he can find it, like the first sign of it, and then he can treat it before he gets to the stage of feeling unwell. And that's how he's staying healthy and happy. So thank you. And I'm hoping that for those who listened to me and felt burned out, they will think about it. And for those who doesn't feel burnt out, I'm happy for you. And I'm the last thing between you and lunch. So now we are moving to questions and I try to answer them if possible.
Thank you, Indre. A round of applause. Great talk. I think it's important to worry about mental health because developers usually forget about that. Do you have any questions from the audience that you want to ask now?
I see that there are a few. How many IT specialists are relocating to Vilnius per year? It depends from the year, and probably 2021 and 2022 wouldn't be a good year to mention numbers because we had so many of them coming from our neighboring country. And they increased the number not naturally, actually. So usually we have around 4,000 people, new people, coming to Vilnius every single year. And as far as we know, more or less about 20% of them are connected to IT sector. Yes, and another. For me, yes, definitely. And the only place in Lithuania to have no burnout as well. Yeah, those integrational programs, usually they have something very much in common because we all see similar target groups. So as I mentioned, spouses, sometimes just targeting specialists and professionals from different sectors overall, but usually target groups are the same, but the approach can be different. And the approach is different. Why? Because we all are different with our characters and just history and culture. So maybe somewhere up in the north, there's a knitting, like some kind of gathering for IT specialists. I'm not sure. We do not have one in Lithuania yet, but there might be different ways to approach the same problem if you are from different regions. And I saw some different approaches, for example, in Spain and in Portugal, because just the character of the country is different. And that might be also an issue you need to remember. Then you move, and if you move to another country, that sometimes those activities are created while keeping in mind mentality of the country and maybe not mentality of you who's coming to the country. So try to find as much information as you can, or go to, I don't know, some kind of center, like for example, International House Vilnius, and try to find answers to the question, what could be the best option for you? And where can you see yourself, if it's knitting or outdoors activities, or just drinking a local wine if they have one. So gather information. And well, those social connections, also again, informational centers or your good friend Google can be very much helpful here. For example, we have a program, Befriend, and this is a mentorship program where the local mentors, either they are Lithuanians or foreigners who came and already live in the city for quite some time, and you come and you're a newcomer, so you try to integrate, and it's very hard at first, and it's understandable. So you can become a mentee. So you get a mentor, like a friend, who can show you around in the city, have a cup of coffee with you, even maybe introduce you to some other people. So you feel more welcomed, you feel better, and you feel that they welcome you in your city. So I know that there are several similar, a bit different programs through all the world. So I would suggest you to find something, any kind of mentorship, any kind of connection with locals, just to have a cup of coffee, to go and volunteer somewhere, or to go to some festivals, and just to integrate in the local community would be a good answer of not having enough social connections. Of course we do. Non-EU citizens probably is the biggest group, not the biggest group, but the biggest work we have to do for them to help to integrate, and not because they are somehow very strange or closed off people, no, because they have different, and I would call it problems while integrating, and most of them are related to migration. My presentation was more or less based that all of you, or most of you, are from European Union, so you do not have those issues you need to tackle. But for non-EU citizens, it's quite hard to enter. And again, Lithuania is not the only one. It's the same in all European Union. And it's more hard to move within European Union on work-based reasons. So yes, of course, a lot of work from us goes to this particular group every single day, especially after 2022. Then the war escalated in Ukraine, and we had a lot of Ukrainians coming to stay, to work, and live in Lithuania. So this was also a challenge for us to tackle. I think we did it. I think we did quite good, but it's a bit different. And then for sure, I would recommend you to find any kind of governmental based help for you, because to answer all those questions on migration, employment, housing, etc. by yourself will be a very long way. Okay, so this was the last question.
That's it for the questions. Thank you, Indre.
Okay,
A
thank
round of
you.
applause.